Hey guys, so today I want to talk about one tip that literally, I guess, doubled the amount of appointment that I was setting. So I'll get straight into it. So I've been appointment setting for a while now, right? Like basically since January, I've been cold calling, right? Cold calling. People have never heard my name before, never spoken to me, and setting appointments for a marketing agency, right? So a lot of like SMMAs and that sort of thing. So basically, one tip that I guess really helped me, and I'll give you guys an kind of like why it helped me and like the perspective that I'm coming from, because I think it'll help you guys kind of envision this and start utilizing this in your own calls. So one of the things that I would do in particular is when I first initially started cold calling, I was very nervous, as everyone is when they first started cold call. We're all kind of like, oh, what is this person gonna think, and all that, right? Like you're all kind of jumped up and you're nervous, you're whatever, right? And I would really like hunch over the phone. So I would get like this right to the phone. And whenever someone said something, I would get close to the phone. I'd be like, yes, yeah, we have that, yeah. And then kind of like stutter and do certain things like that, right? And I would really get close to the phone. I would really have this sort of like eagerness to answer, this eagerness to help them, right? And it's almost like the prospect can smell it. They can like kind of feel it when you do that, right? So what do I mean by that? You're talking to someone on the phone. Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, so how much is something, they're gonna say like, oh, how much is this gonna cost me? And then you're like, yeah, so I mean it ranges, right? Like it could be this, and it's like you kind of have this like jumpy response, right? And so initially, like I said, I would always do that. But ever since I started doing this, it literally helped me a ton. And it's not just what I'm about to say, but it's also a lot of the body language and stuff that you actually do in person, not just in your voice, right? So whenever someone would give me an objection or give me I guess a question, right? Instead of kind of hunching over the phone, what I literally do is I lean back, I hold the phone, and I kind of take a breath. So I give it a second. I'm like, and then I get into whatever objection handle I have to get into, right? So if it's a price one, for example, like if they're like, oh yeah, so what's the price? Instead of being like, yeah, so I mean, I can get, I'll be like, yeah, so I mean, that's actually going to depend on a couple things. It's kind of going to depend on like, what you currently have in place for marketing and some of the systems that you have in place. And like, once I kind of figure that all out, I can kind of, give you a baseline price. Would that kind of help you if I did that? And boom, like already you've kind of shifted the frame, right? Because now you're like, can I help you? Like it's a completely different frame, completely different way of approaching it. It's simple because it's just body language and the way that you're, expressing yourself, right? So that's one simple thing is like whenever, and this is the way I picture it, right? Whenever you lean in, someone's leaning out on the other side of the phone, right? So you want to be the one that leans out so that they lean in, if that makes any sense. And I say that more like, not literally, right? But more metaphorically of like, you don't want to be the one that's begging them, that's pressuring them. Like, no, that's not what's going to work. What's going to work is you leaning back, letting them come into you, right? And this is just one thing that I've noticed. And it's not just with, leaning back, but it's also your posture. It's the way that you're moving your hands, the way that you're, enunciating, the way that you're just like thinking about everything, right? Because at the end of the day, we talk using our hands, right? Like I talk using my hands, I talk using whatever I have in my hands. I typically will hold a pencil. So I'll literally just be holding a pencil while I talk to people, and I have my phone on my desk. So I'm literally moving a pencil around. I'm kind of like gesturing, I'm motioning and using my hands in ways that will kind of guide the conversation, right? Because in person, that's what I'm doing, right? Like right now, I'm doing it, right? You might not be able to get the full picture because the phone's pretty close to me, but you get the picture of like what it is that I'm doing, right? I'm always moving. And it's these little things that you guys, especially like you beginners, like you guys are like, oh, this guy's just saying this. Like he actually didn't get double the appointments just by this, right? And yeah, I don't have the exact metrics, but I know that when I started implementing this, when I started implementing just my more tonality work, implementing different objection handles that can kind of lessen sales resistance. And yeah, I did notice that I started booking 3 to 5 appointments a day when it took me 2 to 3 days to book one, right? So yeah, I did notice an increase, right? So I mean, I just want you guys to kind of sit on that, think about that. There's tons of great resources out there that can help you guys more with this sort of stuff. And I don't know, someone was saying in one of my comments or something like that you guys can't message me on Instagram. I'm going to take a look at that. But if you guys are have any questions, especially about cold calling, anything like that, like feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, because that's like the best place for me to kind of get y'all's messages and answer anything. But yeah, I'm back into the swing of things, and yeah. So I'll let you guys go ahead and use that and get 2 times the amount of appointments. So I'll see you guys in the next one.